So at what point then do you like decide to like really, I guess, take music a little bit more seriously and like really pursue it then?
The birth of my daughter.
Okay, that's a good answer. What can you
She
elaborate?
was she was she was born. She was she was and I was that was a little later, but I was always music was always serious for me because it was the one thing again I never left. My family never left me personally. It was always in my back pocket. But you know, around that time, yeah, around that time when my daughter was born, I would take it more seriously because when I look down at her, and till this day, when I look at her, I want to give her the life that I never had. I want to be the father to her that my father never was to me. And I'm not saying he's a bad dude, but I want to be more, more than that. And that's common, you want to give your kids, everything that you never had and then more and then some, you know. And once I got into the booth, big shout out to Obi-Wan. He was definitely a big push in it because he was like, yo, just come by the studio, you know, show some love, spit a bar, do your thing, and see how you like it. And at first, I was like, you know what, all right, because I was working two jobs at the time, and I was more focused on, the money. And I'm still always focused about getting money, but I was still more focused on like giving her everything. And I realized that like I'm working for the man, but I'm not discovering the man I am myself.
Right.
So I started getting more serious, more in depth with it. And then once I got into the booth, big shout out to Travis Pitcher, Grizz. Um,
Yo,
it felt like,
how do you know Obi-Wan? That's cool. I mean, I just know the
um,
guy from like the name that has appeared in this Bring the Bars Facebook group that has connected me with a bunch of people, but like to me, he's just another guy that I have yet to really talk to.
when you get a hold of him, he's an interesting man to listen to, and that's for sure. I'll never discredit that brother at all. He's a brother of mine. I've known him for so many years now. I met him. I used to work at the gas station down the street here from where I reside, and he came in, and after we would talk, and I just knew like the energy from New York. You get that energy, like his swag, his talk, how he talks, and his tone, his approach. I knew he wasn't from out here, and selling his wraps, whatever, get him whatever his drinks, his kids' snacks, whatever the case was, ice cream, ices, and whenever they had cookouts, they would, bring me a plate of food, whatever. So we just vibed at that point, man. And we met, we were rapping, and he heard me spit, and I heard him spit, and ever since then, man, we were just close. We bump heads. You know what I mean? That's my bro. We're supposed to. You know what I mean? But we bump heads out of love. You know what I'm saying? Out of the love for music. And he's like, hey man, Charlie, don't move like this. Or I'll be like, yo, Obi, don't move like this. We work together. But definitely it go back, man. Blood's thicker than water anytime. So that's one of the homies. So, we go back.
That's dope because you say he brought you into the studio and got you to try it out again, which is effectively leads us to here in this very moment that we're having this conversation. So shout out
Yes, sir.
fucking Obi-Wan, who
Yes,
I
sir.
it's the 7th of August. I'm talking to him, so like it's pretty close
Yeah.
that that's going down.
I mean, if you're watching this, man, I love you, man. No doubt. Tell the family I love them so much, man. They definitely, he definitely was one of the reasons why I took it more serious. And I knew it was meant to be when my daughter heard my music play over the car and play on YouTube, and because she started moving her head to it. Now, mind you, she only knows she's 4.
Aw.
So to retain that much information at that age and actually like the rhythm, move to the rhythm, I knew at that point, okay, Charlie, we got work to do. It's game time.
But it's
This
also
game.
kids are not full of shit too, right? Like in my
Right.
experience
They're
with
straight
three
up.
to
If they
four
don't like it,
us.
they're like, yeah, pound sand. Like, no, we don't. We don't want to hear this. Turn this off. Turn this off.
That's
But
incredible.
yeah, she was moving with it. She was dancing. And so whenever in one of my songs, I think you played it, Champagne Celebration. I mentioned my daughter in the song. A lot of people don't know that at all. Um, there's a part where say Paris met London Marceline. My daughter's name is London Marceline. So in the context, I painted the image that you, Paris, which is of someone else, met London. It's a whole image that I painted for the listener, but no one knows that until today that my daughter was. I put her name in that song and made it fit a story that that you can listen to. But
That's
yeah,
blessed.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no way I would have picked that up. That would have been some shit where I'm like, yo, it's blessed. To be fair, I don't try that hard to decipher people that are not being obvious as buyers anymore, because I did
right,
album reviews for a long time. And then I would be like trying to break down a fucking like West Side Gun bar. And then people from Buffalo would be like, bro, come the fuck on. What are you trying to do here?
what are you doing?
And then like I would spend like 7 minutes Googling fucking athletes trying to, and I'm like, what am I doing? Nah. Is it sound good? It sound good. I'm gonna worry about the buyer message. Then it's like you realize I don't have to get everything. I can just
Right,
like it.
right,
So that's kind of my attitude a bit. So it's like you would have said that, I would have been like, yo, is he so in the pocket? It's tight. And I really mean that. You are in the pocket, and you're also versatile. I was like, nah, he's all over. I mean, there's a consistency to it, but like that like oldest one on your SoundCloud is drastically different than say I don't know the names. The oldest one on the list, and that was drastically
right,
different than the other ones. I was like, say a word. This is like versatility up in here.
right.
Um,
I try to change because of the motive that you see a lot of artists nowadays. They all sound the same. And I don't know if you were able to watch that. It's like T-Pain went live on Twitch and he was just pissed. This guy just lost his cool. And he's like, give me something different. Give me something different. Give me something different. Everyone sounds the same. Everyone sounds the same. And this here, you can see kind of just in the square, in the little square here, this is my office. I would sit down and I would chill, I would smoke, I would listen to different beats, I would go outside, get inspiration, go to poetry slams and stuff like that and listen, and just my experiences in life. And I would add all those things up and I would grab a beat, and new music coming out real soon, by the way, just adds up. I would grab a beat and I would write. And if I didn't like it, I would either put it aside for a later project or I would just start over. And I love my roommate so much. I think I piss him off because I would play the same instrumental like 150 times, like at least, and I'm not joking, maybe about 100 times. I'm playing that instrument over and over and over and over. Because you want to make sure as an artist, as a rapper, you want to make sure that you tell a story. You want to put the listener in a position where they are in shock, they're in awe by all this information that you're feeding them. You tell like artists like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, the heavy hitters in the game. If you listen to some of their lyrics, they put you in an environment that you would never usually in.
You say, hold on, I gotta I love that you put Jid on that list. You put Jid first on that list. I like Jid. DiCaprio 2 or 3 or whatever. It's a phenomenal fucking project. Don't get me fucking wrong. But damn, that's a high praise for Jid.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of unsigned hype, and there's a lot of talent like myself. Obi-Wan. There's a lot of unsigned talent around here, like Dave East. I mean, he's signed. I'm not signed him and all that.
I got people who come to my channel. I haven't done album reviews most of this year. I got people who will come and be like, review Dave East all the time. Not all the time, but relative to other people, Dave East has fucking love, and people want to see him win.
Right, and that's the thing too. Like, you remember those names, and I'm going back even further than them. I'll go back to like KRS-One, Pete Rock, CL Smooth, Rakim. I mean, the heavy hitters back in the day. You knew those names. You remembered those names. Craig Mack. I can't forget Craig Mack because Flavor in Your Ear.
Oh.
The whole remix with Diddy and Big and Busta and all them. That really was like one of the heaviest songs that ever I still have on my phone. And that Quiet Storm with Mobb Deep, Lil Kim. those names, because of the fact that they were so lyrically blessed, they were so lyrically talented, you knew that's why the 90s was the 90s, because those guys took their time and put pen to paper and put their imagination and just spit out their imagination to the viewers, and people love those hits. So that's, you know, that's all those names I listed were also big influences. And those people, to me, you know, including, you know, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Dre, all those heavy hitters, the talent and the amount of power that they put behind the lyrics and in the booth is the reasons why I list all those names, because they're able to tell a story that puts you in an environment that is not yours every day.
Yeah, super nifty. You mentioned those people. I fucks with everybody you mentioned on like my preferences front, but I was thinking a bit about just the T-Pain thing. Those are great examples of mainstream artists, but I know that like if you just go like a step below what Billboard talks about, everything's there. Like
Everything.
every quality level, every topic. There's just like 100 people that are like exactly what T-Pain wants.
Right.
If he went like one step below like the Billboard tier of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.